to Our Town. Dorothy Thompson speaking to you today from Strickland Park here in Richland Center. And a long, long time ago, you might have looked at hills like this and seen a large elephant-like mastodon. Stay tuned and we'll find out more. Taking you to Boaz, and you'll hear from Gail, Dosch, Gaylord, Hooker, and others about the Boaz Mastodon and the Legacy Project.
Well, good, what is it, morning or afternoon? Gail and Gaylord.
Gaylord.
Here we are at the, what is the name of the building?
Boaz Legacy Building.
All right.
Boaz Lions Legacy Building.
Okay. And we have something, this lady just came in and
Don't get me in there.
Boaz Lions Club Mastodon Building. So this coming Sunday, May 4th, 1 to 4. So tell me about, where do you want to start with this?
Well, probably start with what happened that the Mastodon originated, or we're at this set up right now. Gail's great uncles and his grandfather, they had a flood out here on Mill Creek, and after the flood, they found bones sticking out of the bank. So they started digging them up and gathered them up in the milk house. And why don't you take over from there, because you know the history better than I do.
Yeah.
It's there was the four brothers founded. My grandfather, Chris, and Clyde, and Vern Dosch. Vern was just a small boy, but they went down, they had a flood, and they went down to check the floodgate going across the road, creek.
Okay.
And when they got down there, well, they saw a bone sticking out of the bank. So anyway, they went and got some shovels and stuff, and they started digging it up. And they came up through the hayfield with it, with the bones. And he said every time a horse and buggy went by, they would hide in the grass so nobody would see them packing these bones, you know.
Well, they were big then? Yeah. Were they big?
Yeah, oh yeah. And anyway, Granddad told my brother and I, he says, if they would have charged a nickel, well, the only one they showed the bones to was the mailman. And they said if they would have charged a nickel for everyone that he told and came to see him, they'd have made more money on the bones than they did when they sold them.
Yeah.
And it's my wife, my first wife, she wanted something that for her grandkids. So she started this Mastodon thing, and the wayside up here has got the marker on it, which she had to work 2 years through the state to get that roadside sign put up. And at the time that this one here was made, a neighbor boy, Kopetsky, Dave Kopetsky, was working for, I suppose, the city. It was a museum they was going to start in the Frank Lloyd Wright building in Richland Center. So
Okay.
my dad and my brother and I gave him the money to build this. And it was built up on a second floor, I presume. And it was there for about 2 years and they closed it. Well, he wanted to know if we wanted it, because they had to get it out of there. So it was cut in two because the only way they could get it out of there was down the elevator.
Oh, yeah.
So they cut it in two and brought it down, and they brought it over to Harris's lumber yard here, and they put it back together then. And we went for several years. I can't remember the exact number. We had it on a trailer, and we would pull it around to fairs, horse and colt show, candlelight parade in Richland Center. But we never had a place to store it. And so when we started the roadside one, there was a deposit we had to put in, $1,000, I think, to get the sign put up. And so we asked the Boaz Lions Club if they would want to sponsor it. That's how it came to be our project here, was with a replica of it. And we had it on this trailer for several years, no place to keep it. And so anyway, just recently, 3 or 4 years, what now, hasn't it? Yeah, 3 or 4 years.
It's been probably 5.
5?
Yeah.
We started this building to house it, so we had some place, which historical part of the building is not only the Lions Club, but it's for the city of Boaz. So we thought this would be a nice project to start. And as you can see, it really turned out nice. Yeah.
So going back to your grandpa
Yes.
and your 2 great uncles, I think,
Yeah, 3.
3 of them.
Yeah.
What year was that? Do you remember?
1897.
Yeah, it was found. Yeah.
Right, 1887.
Yeah.
Okay. And the creek, which creek was it again?
It's creek. It comes down by East Branch. It went on up towards Bashford Hill.
All right.
Yeah. It's actually it was the Brady place and Alan Halig's farm. It was
Oh, Hellink, yeah.
It's
Right.
on the line fence.
Okay,
where
sure.
they found it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of the issues with hauling this to parades is it's so top heavy that you couldn't hardly do 20 miles an hour with it. And people got tired of pulling it from one parade to the next one.
Yeah.
So it's harder to get volunteers to pull it to a parade.
Especially from here to Gays Mills.
Yeah.
It
right.
takes 3 days to get there anyway in the fastest car, so yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at, so wait a minute, where's wasn't that reconstructed in, was it Madison?
Yes. it's,
Historical Society, yeah.
The original bones, along with some bones that came from down by Livingston,
Yeah.
are in this.
Okay.
And for what they had enough that they could reconstruct the bones they were short. And it now stands in the State Geological Society in Madison.
Yeah.
The actual structure of the bones.
Sure. Now, is that the one that, was that on the square and then they're building a new one, or is that down at more like on the university?
I think it's just off the square.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I haven't been there yet. I keep thinking I got to do that.
So this creature, this mastodon, I think some people instantly think of dinosaurs, but that really wasn't roaming around here very long ago in comparison.
Right.
Yeah.
What was it, a couple thousand years?
Yeah.
4 or 5,000?
Yeah. No, it's,
It was about 9 feet tall and I don't know, 14, 16 feet long,
Yeah.
and it weighed several tons.
yeah. But it was in the, what am I thinking about? Elephant. It was in the elephant's family. Yeah.
Maybe it sounded like an elephant too.
Yeah,
Who
probably
knows?
did.
It very probably did.
Yeah.
This particular setup here, you have one side depicting with hair on it,
Yeah.
and the other side depicting the bone structure.
But they done a beautiful job when they built this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually probably one of a kind.
We basically built most of the building, left that wall, that corner of that wall open, brought it in here, and then closed it in because that's the only way you get it in here.
When was this built?
This
Building?
this building has been, it's 5 or 6 years ago.
Because when I pulled up, I
started,
thought, oh, it's
yeah.
an old schoolhouse. Because
That's kind of what we were looking for.
it's
you know?
very nice. So this was it the community members or was it professionals that came and built it?
No,
There was a professional that led the whole show,
Okay.
and he's a locally known carpenter, and he was proud to have a part in it.
Well, it sure smells. I like the smell of that wood when you come in.
sure.
When we went to do the wood, the reason we put wood on the inside is if you put drywall, you got to find a stud to hang all these pictures and stuff. By putting wood up, we can hang them anywhere.
Well, can we go look around and look at some of the stuff here?
Sure.
Well, what do we have here? So who wants to be the tour guide?
Yeah, we could start over here with
All right.
the Lions Club part of it.
Okay.
This, well, we've got a lot more pictures eventually we've got to put in. This is, this portion right here is mostly Lions Club. It's different projects we done, also fundraisers. Danny Schaefer was big into this fall tractor ride.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And we got quite a few pictures of the one or two of the rides that the tractors had. And we also, for probably 3 or 4 years, had a fish boil, also a fish fry. And we got some pictures of that. And then on down is some of the more of them.
Okay, let's go take a look here.
Yeah, see, this is still some of the fall rides. Also, this is some of the construction. We had this carpenter was in charge, but we had an awful lot of volunteer guys that worked on that. And later on, we can show outside, we got them all named that worked on this with, you know, on weekends and stuff like that.
So what year would are these all kind of separated by year?
Yeah, well, not really. This is just stuff that we put up as far as showing some of the projects we've done over the period of this Lions Club. And also there's,
Oh, yeah.
that's wayside sign up, which is really nice. This down here is my first wife right here is where she has got the sign up there. She was really proud of that. We all are as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the trailer with that we used to pull it around to the fairs and stuff with. Yeah.
I remember it being in a lot of parades.
Yeah. Well, we even had it fixed so we could light it up for the candlelight.
Oh,
parade
yeah,
in
I
Richland
remember
Center.
that.
Yeah.
These are older pictures.
Yeah, here we're coming to the part where the history of Boaz. It's got the old bridge, the old feed mill, the lumber yard and stuff like that, so.
The high school, wasn't that just a 2-year high school?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
I think my mom told me that.
sure, yeah. No, it was,
So freshman, sophomore, then they went somewhere else?
yeah, well, I think after this, if they wanted to be teachers, then they had to go over to the normal.
Sure, yep.
Which, for 2 years, and then they was a certified teacher, I think, so. No.
Above the dam in Boaz.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, over,
Yeah, I was just down the road here.
yeah.
As a kid, I can remember the bridge used to cross right there too, and the dam was
Yes,
below the bridge.
yeah, and then they straightened it out like 20 years ago or whatever.
Oh, yeah, quite a
At
while.
least.
Yeah.
Did you used to do the boating there?
No, that was before my time. Yeah. And this is some more just articles and stuff that we picked up and these things about Boaz and some family pictures there, which I don't know really what they are, but they're the first Boaz Fun Days was in a pasture down here, well, right here it tells John Cloy's farm, which is just south here on Jackson Street.
1974 for this article.
Yeah, it was down there, and then when they really started the park, when they straightened the creek, after 51, when we had the big flood, then they straightened this creek up through, and they had, I suppose, a lot of waste, dirt from doing that.
Yeah.
And they started the park here then, which is probably one of the nicest parks around as far as recreational for the kids and ball diamond, horses and tractor pulls. All that's right.
So it doesn't flood constantly.
Yeah.
Like a lot of parks, city parks, village parks tend to be where, the flooding is.
Sure.
I've been here 9.5 years and this hasn't flooded in that time.
All right.
No. It's been up to the top of the banks, but very little. There's parts of the creek it has flooded.
It's flooded below the town there a little
soon
bit.
as, well, this is the reason they straightened it, because the water, it can flood up above. We got the dams and stuff, but it'll still flood.
Right.
But here, where it's straight, the water just shoots down through here. And if there's going to be any flooding, it's going to be south of Boaz.
All right.
Yeah, down on Q, it goes across the road there. Yeah. And I don't know, do you want to do this side?
Sure, yeah, whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah.
I saw the post office, because there was a post office.
In Boaz.
Well,
That came from the original Boaz post office.
Yeah.
It was donated to us to use as we saw fit, and we figured this was a good way to show
I
it
see
off.
Cindy's a window peeper. Hi, Cindy.
Hello.
Looking
I thought
for-
you were done filming.
Oh, no, we were waiting for you.
Oh, no.
Because she's so shy
I
and
don't like being
everything.
on film. I
Well-
was waiting until you're done.
Yeah, well, it's kind of late now, but because you are on film. But we were going to talk about the post office, because I remember that was open through the 70s, wasn't
Yeah.
Really?
It was originally in somebody's store.
Well, Kipke's store.
Yeah.
it? Was that
Oh, okay.
on the other side of the
That was
bridge?
Kesselbaum's old store.
It's gone now.
I don't know
but it
anything
was
about that.
down.
You've been here longer than I have.
Okay.
Yeah, Kipke took over the space from Kesselbaum. That was Kesselbaum's bait shop.
No, Kipke store Yeah, John, that's one of the boys, took over the store from Castlebaum.
Okay.
Yeah, the Kipke, the father Kipke, he started the store. Well, he had the store and the post office. When he retired, Beavis Stoms took over the post office.
But she was the last postmaster
She was
they
the
had
last
here before they
Yeah.
closed the post office.
Yes, yeah.
And that was this side of the bridge, somewhere down in the downtown?
Actually, it's just back at Karen's supper club down
Oh,
there.
sure. Well, that, a lot of times post offices were in the general store.
Sure,
Right,
sure.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as a kid, the feed mill was across the street from it. And my father would come down to get feed ground. My brother and I would go over to Kipke's. He always gave us a quarter so we could get a candy bar and a bottle of pop. Well, that was part of the reason we went over, but he mounted animals and stuff.
Okay.
And we were just so enthused about seeing all that, you know. He was real good as far as mounting stuff. Yeah. And this is a picture of the churches that were in,
There was originally 4 churches in Boaz, and that's the pictures of the
Yeah.
4 churches.
Well, which
There's only one
one?
of them left still open,
yeah.
the Methodist church right
The
on.
one you can see the steeple down here, can't you?
What's that?
You can see the steeple.
Yeah.
Which one
Yeah.
is that?
That would be the Methodist church.
Yeah. That would be the one right here to the right, wouldn't it, up above? Yeah.
Well, there's Lutheran,
Yeah.
and this says Catholic.
This would have been the one. That,
The UB Church, United
Yeah.
Brethren, yeah.
well, United Brethren and Methodist joined back in the 70s, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Richland Center did that too.
Yeah.
You know, on Church Street.
And that church has been moved slightly from where it was originally. It used to be where the parking lot is now.
Yeah. And they built onto it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So they were all fairly close to each other, you know?
Yeah, the
So
Catholic one was right up here. The Lutheran church is still down here. And the Methodist church over here. I can't remember for sure where the other one was at. I know where 3 of them was at, but
Well, this would have had to been the one that still stands down there.
yeah.
Because
that's
it's
a
the only brick one.
Lutheran church, yeah.
So they were all in competition to see who had the best harvest festival or something? Or
That's a possibility, I
bingo? I
guess.
don't know, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say probably this one right here, I can't remember. But I think the one up in there was the Catholic one.
This says
It says
Catholic.
Lutheran on it.
This says Catholic here.
Okay, that's the
So that's the old wooden one.
That's the one up above there. I can't remember where that was at. Or never knew, I guess.
This almost like it was Lutheran too, but it doesn't make it clear.
Yeah.
But that's the
United,
only,
yeah, United Brethren Church, which would have,
that would have been this one.
oh, wait, it says both of them are, no, Lutheran, you're right, Luth,
Yeah.
and then the UB Church here,
Yeah.
right, okay.
This sign went to the parades with the Mastodon.
Was the population then more than it is now? Because sometimes, like,
It must have been.
oh boy, okay. So I know, like, Viola used to be
Yeah.
quite a bit more than it is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I have no idea how old that sign is, but
But what is it now?
129.
So there must have been traffic jams.
Well, you have to remember that, you know, all those years that Richland Center was dry,
Yeah.
that a lot of people came out to these outlying areas to drink, and some of them probably lived there because of it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I always was told they would come here to get repairs done or something, but that probably wasn't true.
well, you figure at one time there was 3 bars and a supper club here.
Yeah.
Hub City, 3 bars and a supper club, you know, population 100. So, you know, all these outlying areas were making a living off Richland Center being dry.
Yeah.
And
Well, I saw something for Chubb's Bar back over here too. There was a newspaper article or a
yeah, it's
photo.
But Chubb's Bar was a grocery store.
at one time.
Yeah. There was 2 of them across the street. One down in the brick building, which was the old auto Ford or Mercury dealership. And then where Lonesome Dove was, there was 2 there. Lonesome Dove, and then there was a one across the street. And when we had the flood in '51, they jacked it up so they could put a wall around it. When the flood come, it washed it right across the street against, well, there was enough room that you went in, you could have went in either one of the taverns. It washed across. Well,
Maybe it was meant to be.
they tore the one that come across the street, they tore it down.
So what was there before Chubb's? What was the name of that? Do you remember? Because I remember Bunny's. But
I really can't remember what the name was, but it was a grocery store, 2-story. They lived up overhead in
Sure, that was
grocery
common.
store. Then across the street, where Stafford's was at then, there was 2 taverns there, and across the street to the south was a hardware store and a barber shop and a feed mill. And then there was Kipke's store, and then the tavern, and then one went faced south and one faced towards Main Street down here, taverns.
there's a resale shop down here.
Yeah,
And then there's a Quonset hut. What were those?
the Quonset hut, there,
It's like dead ends right before the river or the creek.
yeah. That right in there was, it was Kipke's store, and I can't remember what was between that and the river, or creek, other than just the creek itself. But the main highway went down that street, across, and then it went straight across, and then you could turn left or right. And then they put it, changed it, and then they changed it again. They put it at more of an angle, so it's a lot better now than it was. And on the other side, there was a Quonset garage and a filling station over there on
Well,
171.
that building, the filling station building, is still there, isn't it? After you cross the bridge.
No.
Well, there's something little there, like across from where Jules lived.
There's the telephone exchange is a little building right there. Then it's a house, and then the church, and you went around the corner, and that's where the filling station stuff was at. Well, it was on the corner of 171 and E.
All right.
It was right in there. Yeah,
Okay.
but that was a Quonset. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was a busy town. It was. I can't remember the sawmill being over here, but I can remember most of the buildings built. I can remember when they were built. Yeah, there.
Was there a cheese factory?
Yes, cheese factory is across from the church down there, right on the corner. There was the cheese factory. Fish had that, and I don't know. It ran for, I would say, probably up in 50s, sometime in the 50s. It shut down. Yeah.
Is the building still there?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of that looked like a gas station.
Yeah.
Because they kind of all look the same.
Yeah. That was just a cheese factory. And Hannawell Fish owned it, I think. Maybe Don Hannaway owned it after Fish. I can't remember. But anyway, it was pretty active. They had several trucks hauling mostly canned milk. They didn't have bulk like they have later. It's all canned. Yeah.
Well, there was
This right here is just some books that we've picked up where this in here would be, yeah, registration. This, I don't know. Gaylord, what was this book here on the corner? Was that the post office one? Or, yeah, this is a post office where they
Yeah, it
send.
must have been. It says, register money orders issued.
Yeah, that was out of the post office. It was, you could see where they were sent, money orders.
Look at the dates on them. 32 up to 48, 49. You might be able to look at just about tell when the post office ended.
so this is where you came for money orders.
Yep.
And you could put them in the mail right here and send them.
Sure,
Yep.
sure. Yeah,
The last one on there was 69. I don't know if there's any more on either side. I'm sure there is.
I hope all these were cashed. But I don't know.
Yeah.
What about banks?
yeah, yeah.
Was there ever any banks in Boaz?
Any banks
Was there ever any banks in
No,
Boaz?
not I know of. Well, there were several guys I think could have been banks, but there wasn't.
A lot of stores almost worked as banks. You
Yeah.
know, they
Well,
give change and
yeah, over Harris, he was pretty well to do. Yeah. But this is a side of the
Oh, yeah.
Mastodon with the hair on it, so,
Looks friendlier on this side.
yeah. Yeah, and this long hair tells about that. This is actually the Dosch family here. This is the old Brady house. It's up along 14 yet. It's about ready to fall down, but yeah.
Is that near the Haylink house?
No, it's
Okay.
next, beyond that,
Okay.
yeah. On the same side of the road, but beyond. Here's the actual picture of the house. Yeah. Yeah, and then, well, this is just some more history. It shows where, the map at that time and the people's names on it that lived there.
A mammoth mystery.
Yeah.
I don't have a date on this one, for that article.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's another picture that my wife had. Forget what his name is. Yeah. Can you remember who she had that made by?
no.
I'll forget what it is.
Oh, he did the pen and ink.
You mean to make that?
Yeah.
See, I've only been here 9.5 years, so this is.
Gordon Glass.
Yeah.
Gordon
Yeah,
Glass,
that's-
yes. I don't know why it took me so long to think of
Yeah,
that.
that's who done that.
So you got an event coming up. You have one coming up this Sunday,
Yes.
and that is what is the name of that?
Well, the dedication, well,
It's
just
open house,
open house.
and we're also having a brat fry.
Yeah,
And it's
Okay.
going to be right here.
yeah.
Let people come in and if they want to look through this place, they can.
And I think they're gonna have a lunch too, I think.
We did this a year ago,
Yeah.
And we're still working toward getting it set up so that we can be open maybe one day a week for a couple hours.
Right.
But we haven't got there yet.
And what time does that start?
1?
Yeah.
1 o'clock. The weather's supposed to be nicer.
Yeah. It's supposed to be good.
Oh, good. I might just swing by with my camera.
Sure.
You're more than welcome to.
And then they can. Is there going to be anybody in here to kind of point things out for people?
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah, there'll be somebody in here. Yeah. And on the other side, most of that's all about the historical marker up on 14. That's dedication of it and stuff. Yeah. John Dahlman from Madison, who was big in, I don't know what you call it, old bones and stuff. And he was our guest speaker. And my wife, she was, well, they really hit it off. And every Christmas, probably for, I would say at least 5, 6 years, he'd make a Christmas card and send to her about different animals, you know, the Mastodon. And last one he wanted was the giant beaver. And
oh,
I trapped and I caught one once that weighed about pretty close to 90 pounds, a big one.
Oh, wow.
And she sent him a picture of it, and he says, no, he says, that's a nice beaver, but the one that we had was 200 or 300 pounds. It was a big one. But
I didn't know a beaver could get that big.
no. Well, not as big as the Mastodon, though. No.
I can't even picture 90 pounds, to be honest with
yeah, well,
you. In a beaver?
it was like this here when I had the picture taken. It was a big one. Yeah.
So this is not a tall tale. This is real.
No, this is real.
Do you think it kind of got bigger as the years went on, though?
If it was a fish, it might be a tail.
This big. I caught a beaver this big.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But no, it was a dandy. Yeah. Anyway, I thought I was going to get rich, which I didn't. But
Well, this whole thing started, as far as the building and such goes, Lions Club is 100 years old. And they were telling every club they'd like to have them do something for a legacy project.
Okay.
Well, this is what we did.
Well, good.
And
It's nice.
we've been told that it far surpasses what anybody else has done. I don't know if that's true or not, but we're pretty proud of it.
yeah,
Well, it takes a lot of work, doesn't it?
it does.
And there's a lot of hands been involved in this.
Well, we fried a lot of fish and everything else to get money. Plus, we got several gifts too.
Sheila Troxel
Oh, yeah.
got us a grant
Yeah.
that helped considerably
Sure.
toward this building. And I don't remember the exact amount, but it was
No,
substantial.
but it was pretty good.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a real mover when it
Oh,
comes
yes.
to.
nice lady.
I know. Very
Can't
nice.
believe it. She grew up right across the road from us, you know. Yeah, and then her brother Brian was just at the, I don't know what, they had it last weekend, wasn't it, at the bowling alley that they honored Brian, who was her brother, Dr. Brian String. And there were several other ones too, but no, she's a wonderful person. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to come by next Sunday for the. So the event is the Heritage. What's the name of the event?
We just call it an open house.
Open house.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
With
We've got a
brats.
sign that we've made that that we've started, having our things advertised, but we haven't done anything that big yet.
Well, today's
This
Tuesday.
is what the sign
so-
looks like.
Okay. Yep.
We we're given the sign. It needed a lot of work. It's an old sign. And I, with the help of Gail and another guy, have refurbished it.
Did you get a picture of the donations and stuff outside here?
No, I didn't do that. Let's go out and look.
I have something right here that you can take with you.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Viola paper.
Up a little bit.
Well, I see some names I recognize.
Do you?
Yeah.
No, that's,
Now, when was this sign put up?
this was about a year ago, wasn't it?
It's been 2 years.
Yeah, we've had
Because
it.
originally we had it
Yeah.
over here, and then we added the sidewalk, and
Oh, yeah.
rather than push it out toward the driveway more, we just mounted it on the building. It was on separate posts before.
All right.
We also have this bell. What's the name of that school?
I don't know, you shouldn't ask.
The Dayton Township Town Hall Burger School.
Burger, yeah.
It's right at the bottom of Bashford Hills where the original one-room school was. And when they made it into 4-lane there,
Yeah.
the school got moved out of there, and this bell was with the school at that time.
Does it work?
Yeah.
You have to prove it now.
Well, you asked a question,
I
I'm gonna
did.
give you the answer.
Yeah, that works.
But we had, well, he's not a member, but he's the guy that, like I said, was the contractor that actually helped us do this building. And he took that project on himself. I had the bell, and he took it all apart, sandblasted every piece, put 2 coats of black automotive paint on it, and another coat of clear on it, and then he built that whole stand himself to put it on. And that was all a donation. We already had the bell, but he donated everything else, including his labor. I don't know if I should mention his name or not, but
Well, you can if you want.
his name is Louis Gifford.
Louis Gifford.
Yeah. He's a local carpenter that's got a pretty good reputation, from what I understand.
Yeah, he did a good job here.
But I'm proud to call him a friend.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to come back Sunday and have a brat. How do you like that?
You do that. I'll even buy you one.
Will ya?
You
I'll,
bet I
good,
will.
but I'll be here at 1.
Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah, I want to thank you for coming too.
All righty.
Yeah.
And I'll go home and read this.
Okay.
It's my assignment.
Okay.
Hey.
Take care now.
Cindy's coming back with some more copies of the thing. So, if you want to go, you can go, and I'll see.
Well, it's a good time of year to get out about and have some fun. And we hope you'll come back and see what we have to tell you every week.